What is Lama Fera? Lama Fera is among one of the fastest energy healing techniques in the world. The word Lama means the one who is aligned with the energies of Lord Buddha and follows the path of Dhamma. You might have heard about Dalai Lama. And the word Fera means to take a round. In many traditions, we see practice of taking round, that is circumambulation of the temple, guru, trees, and even around the sacred fire during marriage. So, what we call is pratikrama, parikrama, pradakshina, or fera, the same technique is used in Lama Fera to bring the positive energy on the surface in the receiver. Like Pratikrama in Hinduism, even Muslims perform circumambulation around Kaaba during their Hajj, which they call tawaf. And the circumambulation during Hajj is done in a counterclockwise manner. Whereas Hindus, Buddhists, and even Jains, they circumambulate a sacred site clockwise. Now, the only exception to this is during paying last respect to a dead body, where the traditional circumambulation in Indian religion is counterclockwise, that is, anti-clockwise. Now, going to some ancient wisdom from the Rig Vedic verses 2.42.3 and 2.43.1, pra as an adjective means very much. Pra can also come as a prefix to verbs and take on the meaning of onward or forward. For example, prasthan means the next step. Onward or dakshinam or south is pradakshina. So when one does that, one's right side is facing deity, person, or object of which you are doing the circumambulation. Skanda Puran, chapter 9, verse 68, in the word pradakshina, the syllable pra dispels sins. The syllable da bestows what is desired. The syllable kshi causes the destruction of karma, which is shaya of karma. And the syllable is bestower of salvation. So circumambulation or pradakshina of Fera is the basis of creation of the universe. All planets, stars, even the galaxies have this phenomenon. In our ones, all the planets rotate around sun. So they do the Fera or pradakshina of sun. Now this circular movement around the sun is called revolution. All the planets also rotate around their own axis, which is called as rotation. So Earth rotates, it also rotates around the sun. By circumambulation, we stay connected with the energy which we are working on, so that we are not lost in material pleasures or trivial challenges in life, but our soul continues towards the higher purpose, its own path. Even modern science has proven that an atom is the smallest particle of an element in the universe. And inside the atom, we have electrons circumambulating the nucleus. Therefore, everything in the universe, right from a small electron to even the planet Earth on which we live, and the planets that affect us, are controlled by something around which they circumambulate or around which they do the Fera. Now this pradakshina also creates vortex of energy. When you go clockwise, you are moving with certain natural forces. Any concreted space functions like a vortex, which means that it reverberates and it also draws both ways. An intermingling of what we are referring to as the divine and what we are calling as self happens. The idea in our culture is that we want to realize and become the divine. So the idea is to constantly allow this transaction to happen, so that gradually the living body itself becomes like a divine entity. Now, how this Fera affects the body? So this Fera creates a magnetic field around the body of the receiver, which attracts more of what the person needs. And this is the scientific theory of centripetal force versus centrifugal. On one hand, you have a negative pull from the transient world, and on the other hand, a divine pull by the spiritual world. With circumambulation or Fera, we create a balance between our spiritual life and material life and reduce influence of realistic desires on us. So, this, my friends, was the real meaning of Lama Fera. I know many videos that you watch on YouTube, Instagram, and you would read many blogs where everyone make Lama Fera famous as someone to remove black magic. But let me tell you, while that can be done with Lama Fera, but the real meaning, the real truth, the real fun of Lama Fera lies when you yourself become like a Buddha, when you yourself become unshakable. That's the real purpose of learning and mastering this modality. Now in next video, I'm going to share you more details on Lama Fera, how it works, what all it covers, how many levels are there, and much more. So if you want these details further without missing, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the bell icon so that you don't miss those videos whenever they go live. And you can join our fastest energy healing techniques webinar by submitting the form below this video to get an opportunity to ask any questions regarding Lama Fera live on a Zoom call to me.